Alright, dear coin family, this is the Rokhound. Today we're going to go with part 2 of my collection. And we're going to focus on, as the sign said, Canadian trade dollars. I'm working on trying to find a better camera. This little Sony I'm using is just, it's good, but it's not the best. So this is one of 4 books. It is a 60 pocket safety album. This is what they actually came in. And we do it this way. Yeah, it works out pretty good. And I'm sorry it jumps around a little bit. I gotta move my hands. But unlike the American trade dollars, the peace dollars, things like that, the Canadian trade dollars don't seem to have that big following. Part of the reason probably is because the trade dollars were not done in silver. And, yeah, works out for me because it's always nice to, oops, I'm on the wrong page. Works out for me, as I was saying, because I can generally get a better deal on them from people that have them in bulk that are looking to get rid of them. PEI, for those that don't know, what you see written on the bottom means Prince Edward Island. SAK being Saskatchewan. I will say though, the Canadian trade dollars tend to be a little more colorful as far as subject matter. Every province, every town has its own centennial anniversary and all that other fun stuff that they celebrated. And they used various, that one's nice, materials. It's not just an aluminum token. Some are copper, some are brass. They all have some kind of substance to them as far as weight. So when you had it in your hand, you had something there. And like some of the aluminum tokens you see nowadays, that really, I almost want to say they kind of leave you wanting. You have 50 of them in your hand, and then it feels like you might be carrying something more than a piece of paper. And if you ever get interested in looking for information to buy and sell Canadian trade tokens, use the internet search and search for collectible Canadian municipal trade tokens. Yeah. Okay. In this book we will be focusing on Manitoba, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and the Northwest Territory. Now, fortunately some of these got bounced around a little bit. These are not the books I intend to keep them in, these are the books that they're currently in. All things being equal, I have a rather large binder that I plan to move everything over to as I get more pages to add to it. That in and of itself can be an expensive proposition, but I have begun moving my books around, resorting and trying to get some semblance of order to my collection, which is one of the reasons everything's moving slowly with it. But as I free up pages in there and move them to different albums, I am just recycling the pages into other albums. Oh, just one, where'd you go? There you are, on that page. This may be a little bit of a long-winded video, only because of the amount of trade dollars I currently have. I will try not to get too crazy with it. Okay, that's book number 2. And moving on over to book number 3. And again, like I said, these are the safety coin albums, 60 pockets. They are pretty good books. I'm not big on these for longevity holds. And by that I mean as a storage medium. If you're not buying and selling, the reason I say that is because I've had a few of them that I've taken out that the plastic on the 2x2 actually stuck to the pocket and ripped off, causing me to have the coin pop out. And it's not a big deal. It's just a pain in the butt when you're trying to move the coins around. So if you're keeping it someplace that's cool, you're keeping it someplace where you can get at them and you're moving them around a lot, these books are fantastic. If you're just looking for some place to stick them and keep them for the short term, yes. And by short term I mean for a year. But long-term storage, where you're putting your collection to have it, where you can get at it, not really. I don't really recommend these books. Like I said, the flips stick to them, especially if they get hot. And mine sit inside the house, but they are in my office, which is one of the warmest rooms in the house. And as a result, like I said, it stuck to it. I don't even have the flip here. I would have shown it to you. But you know, like I said, it is a good album. They're not an expensive album. If you need some place to store them quickly, so you don't, lose your organization, these are great. But I definitely recommend getting them into regular 24 pocket pages, into an album, or into a Dansko album, which doesn't use pages. That would definitely be better. Like I said, some of these tokens are just really nice looking, the way the artwork on these, things like that. Some of these are just like raised edges, not edges, but yeah, the reverse is got raised elements to it. The obverse has raised elements to it. It really is something that when you hold it in your hand, you can really feel it. It's a nice Niagara Falls coin. I have about 3 or 4 of them, different ones. Look at this one. You can see the raised relief to the face of that coin. To me, that's just really, really cool. And that was the I don't know if it's the obverse or the reverse. I didn't put these in these holders, so. Well, these are the coins. That's the Niagara Falls coin. Just such a nice luster to it. You can see right there it says trade dollar. So if you have any questions on these coins, I'd be more than happy to try to answer them. Like I said, I am not the most knowledgeable person in the world. I like Canadian coins, so when I got a chance to get these, the price was right, and I bought them. Age of sales. That is just so cool. $2 trade dollar. Yeah, in my opinion, the U.S. Mint could definitely learn from our neighbors to the north. There we go. I was reading an article, I believe it said the 1923 type U.S. $1 bill has remained basically unchanged up to today. It is still basically the same bill. No changes really to the bill other than the basics of yeah, whoever's in charge of Bureau engraving, things like that, Secretary of State. But the basic premise of the bill has not changed at all in over 70 years. So I'm not saying we need to jump on like polymer and all those other things, but it would be nice to see the dollar bill get a nice redesign going on it. Would definitely increase its collectability. Okay, and that runs me through book number 3. In addition to that, the box I was showing you to begin with. Also, these are, like I said, when I got it, this box was full. And I've been separating them by date, by locations, things like that. And I am slowly getting there. And now we're back to this Mamu. This album has got to be all of 2 feet wide and probably 14 inches tall. Originally this held the operating systems for the Hewlett-Packard computers, and these are what they sent out to places like Circuit City and whatnot. If you had a problem, you could fix the computer right there in the store by reloading software, things like that. I was able to get the albums. I wish I'd been able to get the software that was in them. So, starting here, as you can see, this was another similar to the safety albums. And if you give me 1 second, I'm going to prop this up a little bit and cut a little bit of that glare on there. Should make life a little bit easier for us. I hope. Okay, so we have the Rocky Mountain House trade dollar medallions and the Royal Visit. And the Royal Visit ones are kind of cool. I think they're at the bottom of the page, or one of the pages. Nope, there it is right there. 1939 Canada. This was the visit of King George VI. I apologize again, it's hard to get some of these pictures sometimes, but we'll keep going. Hi, Booch. Booch. So the Rokhound has arrived. So we'll take a quick pause here. This is Booch, the Rokhound. My big old scary monster dog, 98 pounds of pit bull mix. He'd rather lick you than anything else, unless you got food, and then he'll be very happy to eat out of your hands. He's my favorite fat boy. Right, Booch? Assume the position. Floop. There he goes. Okay, so back to the coins. Sorry about that. I can't help it. I love my dog. Of course, he'd probably love me more if I had food for him, but you know. Okay, that was good. Knock everything right on over. Excuse me one second here. There we go. Okay. If you guys need to see any of the backs on any of those, let me know which ones, and I can email you a picture of the backside of them. This video otherwise is going to probably run a lot longer than I would like. By the way, that's not American football either. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, and then over here, Canadian Chinese trade dollars. Okay, and over here, this last row, 3 Royal Canadian Mounted Police medals. Very cool. Okay. And now comes dinosaurs. Roar. And for those that don't know, Canada has had more than its fair share of fossil discoveries, especially as you move towards the western parts of Canada. There is always something being found out there. One of the reasons why Montana is always so popular. As soon as you go north of Montana, you enter into Canada, and the fossil finds there are every bit as good, if not better. The difference is, by moving that much farther north, what you end up with is a much colder, more inhospitable climate, and you will not get the amount of attention that you would get in, say, Montana. Montana gets a fairly harsh winter to begin with. So moving on to British Columbia. Ultimately, I'd love to put all these into a Dansko album if I found one that had enough pages that I could afford it. Or enough pages and I could afford it, I should say. I'd love to put these in there. Just ultimately do away with the 2x2s altogether, but that is a very expensive proposition. The best prices I've seen on some of the Dansko albums are about $25 a piece, and they generally don't have a lot of pages in them, or they're for albums which just don't do me any good. Oh, that's why I'm having trouble. I'm showing you stuff that's on a different page. Sorry about that, guys. Alberta, Canada. Okay, this one's still upside down, so let's pop this out real quick here and just fix that. And while we're at it, I'll give you a quick look. This is Calgary, Alberta. Calgary Stampede dollar. Again, this is one of those really nice looking tokens. The art and everything on that is fantastic. Calgary Centennial, 1975. That's just cool. Alright, let's get you back where you belong. There we go. Sorry. How do they call while I'm doing a video for all my coin family? Okay. Like I said, this is my rest of my trade dollars. Some of these have no date, but most of them will do. And as I get through it there, oh, that's my soda. There's 3 albums there. They'll all end up inside this album eventually. And it'll be cool. And at some point in time I may try to actually move these into a dance school album. I think if I get one that fits, I'm not sure, the $50 or it's going to have to be the American Eagle album pages to fit something like that. And then I'll be able to move these into that, and they will definitely show a lot better. And it'd be very cool. I think so. I mean, it's not cool, you know, I'm not saying it's not cool, I should say. The way it is, and everybody collects differently. I just happen to have enough stuff. My wife always asks me, well, what are you going to do with it? Well, eventually I'm going to display it. Oh, here's one that got away. What do we got here? This is Calgary, Canada. Salute to aviation. Oh, lost my focus there. The Silver Dart, 1909. Okay, it's another one of Calgary, excuse me, Stampedes. I have no idea what that says. Cowboy taking a rest. Alright, my friends, my coin family. That's what it is for this one. Thanks for stopping by and sharing a little time with me, and I hope you guys all having a great time. Keep an eye out. I should have some more videos coming up. Hopefully I'll get a couple of rock videos to match into some of the coin stuff, and we'll go from there. Other than that, y'all have a great day. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.